because they are both missing.
Oh, Ashwa. You might just be. I myself had issues actually with entering the room, so it could be an issue there. Hmm.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm I'm very good, thank you.
Great. Hi, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Super.
Should I like start the slideshow in this case, or would there be people who will be joining us?
I don't know. Maybe we wait for a couple more minutes. It's also up to you, but time is it's passing. It's passing.
Until when do I have? My slideshow is not that long, so I guess I
Okay.
could wait a few more minutes and then start it.
All right, you have until half past, basically.
Okay, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll wait for a few more minutes.
Okay.
It was originally meant to be two of my colleagues who were going to
Yeah.
perform it, but the electric cuts in their city, yeah, it was too severe, so I had to take that place. Considering I live in a better place here in Libya.
Okay, because I was just telling my colleagues that you guys hadn't shown up, and I sent all of you an email.
They sent it to me at 3 a.m. So I was woke up 3 a.m. making slideshow. It's very crude,
Wow.
but at least I hopefully it does the job.
No, no, no. I mean, I logged on to this just to make sure that you guys are here. Okay. All right. It's good to have you, Ahmed, at least.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ahmed, I can see you're here now.
Oh, hey, Eli. Yeah, thank
Hey,
you. Slight issue with the. I think
no
I may have
problem.
clicked either the wrong link or the thing just messed up. But it's
No
all right now.
problem. So I just want to say that thank you, Ahmed, for saving the day. So the issue is that so our colleagues, Muhammad, they were not able to join due to the power cuts they are having in
Yeah.
the city. So Ahmed has emailed me this morning to say he will present on their behalf. So thank you so much, Ahmed.
No problem. It's my pleasure. We're just gonna give it a few more minutes before I start, just in case like anyone else wanted to join.
Yeah. Otherwise, Ashwak and myself will be your audience. And on that note, Ili, can you check your messages, please?
Uh, sure.
Thanks. Ahmed, it's 1:15. I think
Yeah.
you might
Oh,
want to start.
yeah, I think I'll do it then. Okay, let me share my screen. Um, can you guys see it?
Yes, Ahmed, we can.
Okay. No. Excuse the crude nature. I'm not really a graphic designer, but I do have a few
It's
images from our
it's
organization.
beautiful.
Oh no, this is from our art team, our organization. Anyway, let me begin. Thank you very much for joining me in this little tour of what we performed here at the Tawasul community, Mujtama Tawasul, our debate project here in Libya. Early on, as soon as we begun it, we kicked it off with the plan of doing it in 4 stages. So essentially three. The fourth being a meeting of everyone who competed and the organizers and whatnot. So these 4 stages were ones that were made very transparent from the very beginning for everyone to see. The first stage for the debate competition that we were organizing was that we would organize regional debates in all the regions in Libya. So it's in the western region, the southern region, the eastern region. Within these places, we would have debaters all coming together to have debates that relate to their regions and the issues at hand there. Within the audience of these includes a judge, that judge being a decision maker or a policy maker from that region or an expert from the region who can give better analysis with regards to what needed to be done to actually solve the issue or any insight he had when it came to the decisions being made in the debate, in the motion that was being debated on. The second stage or the second phase in the project was that we would have a national debate of people from different regions. So basically, members in different regions debating against members in different regions, and the motions were ones that related to Libya as a whole, the path to peace, what needed to be done to for sustainability, for development within the country. So national goals that had to be taken, motions that related to the national agenda in total. And then on our third phase, it would be the official tournament. Now, when it came to this, our selection process was a little different than before. Instead of every team being consisting of members of the same regions, we had every team consist of 2 members, and both members would be of different regions to add to this cohesion that we were working towards from the first and second one. We wanted members from different regions to be participating together and try to do their best to get the highest spot possible in the ratings and in the tournament, which is exactly what was done. The final team that had won was a team, one from Tripoli and one from Benghazi, two very contentious regions. But this just went to showcase the the abilities that the ability to actually work together when it came to very serious topics, especially when relating to the country as a whole. A few examples of which I wish to show. This was from our first stage. This question here, this motion here was that this House believes that that penalties would be given to people who who sell things on the black market in the city of Gharian. This was performed by this was debated on by a team from Gharian, two teams from Gharian, and the person who was our guest, a special guest who was going to be judging this, was a judicial advisor at the county, Mohammed Sheikh, who gave plenty of insight with regards to the topic, and everyone who was there in the audience to watch it, because we did film them live and put them online afterwards, so anyone from anywhere can watch them whenever they wished. Another one was also performed in the city of Misrata, which related to civil society organizations. It was this House believes that civil society organizations play a negative role in endearing the values of community safety and the community peace. This was judged by Ramadan Meitig, who was the head of the legation for civil society groups in Misrata. Another very informative discussion by him, the role that was to be played, what the government's role was when it came to civil society organizations. This was this particular debate played a very important role in showcasing many people the importance that the government placed on civil society organizations and what they were willing to do to further their goals and whatever needed to be done, to do this in a formal manner, which was something that was very lacking, especially in a country like Libya, where the political structure is opaque. It's not really that transparent. So this was a very important way of actually connecting them to each other. With that, afterwards, we started with the second stage, which was the regional debates, where we got multiple people from, as I said, from different regions debating against each other before the final one. This one in particular had the team from the middle region, Misrata, against the team from Tripoli. It was that this House believes that the youth play an important role in, and the youth play the most important role in building the path to peace in the country. Then we entered the final stage with a multitude of judges from multiple different places. We had people like Rabab, who was with us this day, Haytham Hammali, Hamad Khablil, Tahra Tariq, with regards to the issues that were going to be debated on at the third stage, the national tournament. And then we entered the final stage, which involved, as I said, teammates who were from very different regions, debating on issues from Libya as a whole. This was the final debate, which had to do with this House believes that the path to peace in Libya begins with removing weapons from armed groups. The winners of this was the bottom right team in this image. It was Azhar and Aisha. Both one was a member of Tripoli and the other from Benghazi. That was pretty much the gist of our operation. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks, Ahmed. I just have actually some questions for you. So there are two different ones. So one is if you can just introduce a bit of context on Libya, how things are, what are the kind of the main challenges, and on the Tawasul project. So what was the main need and why did you choose to do a project that deals with a series of debates? So what was kind of the aim?
Thank you. So basically, like some of the main challenges in Libya is definitely the implementation of any like solid program that related to like the SDGs or anything like that. And one of the primary problems was, as we saw in the session earlier, was how to implement them. Is it the youth job? Is it, for example, the government? What needed to be done? And the main challenge has always been that there was a very weak political structure. So much of the burden lay on the youth, and actually like not just implementing them, but also raising awareness for them in the first place, because many people did not hold many of the values that of the SDGs and whatnot to heart. So basically, one of the primary challenges has always been that it was that the political structure was very weak and would not really provide much assistance when it comes to this. Another problem was that these goals, it was very hard to get them to get people to follow them on a nationwide level. The eastern region and the western region of Libya, as you guys may know, is very it's very heated. It's almost somewhat of a rivalry, you could say, with regards to the political with the political organizations both in the west and east fighting for dominance in the country. So a very important part of this project was to break that barrier. It was the ability to talk about these issues and create a sense of unity throughout, showcasing that these problems are not ones that had to be solved just by the people in every region, but by people from all different regions of Libya. These are national issues, not regional ones. These had to be tackled together, not each of us by themselves. So this was a very this was one of the primary points why we decided to do this project. We believe that dialogue is the most important part in solving any issue. There needs to be talk. There has to be discussion with regards to these issues, and this is exactly what we wish to do. And we performed. And this is why we wanted people. This is why we wanted in the tournament that every member, that every team consisted of 2 members of 2 different regions. These 2 people from 2 different regions are willing to work together with issues that related to a national, on a national basis that had to do with national issues. So that's pretty much why we wanted to do that.
Excellent. And I also have a question on the debate club itself. So I know Tawasul has now become, kind of something that be sustainable, that will stay. So what are kind of first the impact of this project, but also the future of Tawasul?
Can I ask something before we go into
Of course.
I wanted to know, Ahmed, if there, what kind of material did you produce from this project, and is there material that we could also help to disseminate about your work, and also a very important point, if some of them are in English.
Material as in like
as in I don't know, like outreach flyers or posters, or I see here interesting graphics, or things to communicate your work. It doesn't have to be like a manual, but something that potentially we could also disseminate as part of your work. Use my ignorance.
No,
it's in Arabic and I don't speak Arabic, and I'm sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I do believe we have some. I think most of either promotional images or much of our material was done in Arabic, but there was much of it that was bilingual, especially when related to advertising and awareness of this project happening. Yeah, I do believe we have some. I could definitely find some and then link it to you if you.
Sure.
If you.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
I'll definitely look into that. And Eli, I'm so sorry. What was your question?
Yeah, so I know from Muad and Huda that the project itself, the club, the idea of the club Tawasul and the project has had certain impact that now you're thinking to make it a bit sustainable, so something that will stay for the future. So I was asking about, the impact, but also what are the future plans for that?
Yeah, our future plans, especially when it comes to the debate club in general and the Tawasul project, is to focus on that, make dialogue our primary, it's always been our primary target, but we also wanted to expand that and what that means exactly. Now, our debate club wants to expand its premises, expand what kind of debates it participates in. Like one of our primary goals is to form a national team that could debate in English, not just in the Arabic language only. But other than that, the actual goals that want to be achieved, some of the fundamental issues that can be tackled by our organization, by our project, definitely be to relate to dialogue. One of our most ambitious goals would definitely be to become a major, for example, debate organization, one that is well known and that could even possibly host debates on in elections, for example, or one that can help policymakers better make choices. Be able to connect youth who are well informed about these issues to the decision makers and policy makers that could actually make a change in the country. And especially our primary point is always to have for all the organizations that relate to debate here in Libya to be connected to each other and to connect these individuals who want to make a change to each other all over the country, and to and to really inform people that this kind of connection is necessary. What are the goals that can be achieved through it? So basically, primary goal is always, the keyword has always been dialogue. Just open up the dialogue, and many problems will be solved just through that.
Great. It's really nice to hear that, Ahmed. I also believe, I mean, dialogue is really the key for a lot of things to be solved, or at least to see the perspective as well, the other perspective, and try to reach a common kind of goal. I'm not sure. I think we only have 5 minutes left, maybe. But if there are further questions from the audience, we can hear them. I don't know, Ashwak, if you have any questions.
Yeah, I do have
Yes.
one question. I just hope time will be sufficient. So I noticed that there is a like how we say government presence in your debates. I think this is a plus, but was that so for results? I mean, did the debate actually manage to have a policy and to influence the current policy?
Ahmed, I think he got disconnected maybe. Issue is that the internet is not very stable, and that's why we had to replace Muhammad, who should have been presented. I mean, maybe from what I know from the project, I know that the Tawassul project got a lot of kind of attention from kind of decision makers, but also the news from Libya, because it was it had a lot of buzz, if you want, in Libya. So I think the next steps for them would be to have some high level maybe discussion. So the dialogue will not be only between debaters. Maybe they will host some member of the parliament or a government. But I would confirm with Ahmed, who's now here. So Ahmed, we were just, you had a question from Ashwak about, the impact was on policymakers, and how maybe the project will be able to reach out to policymakers and to inform them as well. So I was saying, the project really created some buzz, which is great.
I was going to say, I'm so sorry. The internet disconnected. I went and came back. Okay, thank God it's back. The question was how we wanted policymakers to. Oh wait, let me share my screen actually for a sec.
Ahmed, just to say, we really have just a minute because we'll have to go back to the plenary. So if you can take it.
Okay. What was the question again? I'm sorry. It was with the policymakers.
Yes.
The way we wanted to do that was, as we saw, for example, the debates here, is that we would have representatives. For example, this was our first step. It was to get representatives to attend these debates and see the discussion made by youth on these topics. Starting off from a regional basis. Eventually, we want to get this off on a national basis and have actual national representatives to attend, but that is quite harder to reach. I'm sure they're very busy with the current situation in it. But basically, your primary goal was always for the decision makers to play a more, for the youth to play a more active role in decision making, basically, and for the policymakers on how they wish to make the policies, discussions to be made, and to get as much insight as they can from experts, both in the youth field and wherever it may be. So creating this dialogue, creating this bridge, connecting policymakers and decision makers to people most affected by their policies and decisions is definitely something that we really want to do. Create some transparency in the government, basically. And in a country like Libya and many developing countries like these, transparency is really, really key for people to have at least some faith in their government and what needed to be done. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you. Is that it? Should we go back to the room, or is there something else?
I think we should go back to the room, maybe.
Ahmed, sorry, one last question. It's Anna, the Annalyn Foundation. Could you share your social media handles so I do communications for the Young Mediterranean and Voices project. So it would be nice if I could tag you on some posts and,
perfectly fine. On Instagram or where?
No, on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay. Twitter, yeah, sure.
If you can share them in the chat so that I can get them and then tag you.
Yeah, I'll just give you my Facebook link immediately. And my Twitter handle
I mean,
is
from, I don't know if the project has any social media handles.
yeah, yes, it does actually. We do. I'll give you them.
Okay.
Organization of debates. This is our Facebook handle. We don't really have a Twitter page, but
Okay, Facebook. Fine.
okay, this is our Facebook organization. There you go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Let's go back to the plenary now.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.